Good evening. My name is Kate Mahoney, and I want to welcome you to our show where we're focusing on back to school issues. And particularly tonight, I'm really excited to introduce Dr. Gregory Benson Flores, who's the Associate Chair for the Bachelor's Program in Psychology at the Chicago School of Professional Psychology. So Dr. Benson Flores, one of the things that's exciting is because the Naomi Ruth Cohen Institute is located at the Chicago School, there's a couple of things sometimes people aren't sure of. First of all, they don't always know that the Chicago School of Professional Psychology is a not-for-profit university. And I'm not sure many people know yet about the really exciting new program that you've helped to launch, which is this bachelor's completion program, so that individuals who've gone to city college or community college and who want to pursue and complete their bachelor's degree can do that at the Chicago School now under your leadership. And so I wonder if you could talk a little bit more about that bachelor's completion program, and now that it's back to school time, if people are still interested in applying and getting on board for a fall start, or if not, maybe a winter start, how that would be. So can you talk a little bit about the program?
Sure, of course. First off, thank you, Kate. It's a pleasure being on this show. I wanted to also thank the Chicago School of Professional Psychology, and we're very excited at the Chicago School to be launching this brand new Bachelor's of Psychology completion program. Just to give you a little bit of background about this program, it's a 60-credit program which offers students really a solid foundation in general psychology with the opportunity to get involved in minors and concentrations within psychology.
So one of the things that you're known for, the school is known for, right, is also that students get the opportunity to do direct work in the community so that when they graduate with a degree from the Chicago School of Professional Psychology, they have great education, but in addition to the academic preparation, they'll have had the opportunity to actually be out in the community making an impact and figuring out how they want to really leave their mark on the city of Chicago or wherever they choose to practice.
Yes, that's correct, Kate. I think one of the strengths of this program, like many of the programs at the Chicago School, incorporates community, diversity, multicultural issues, social justice issues, and also some of those really relevant current events that are impacting some of the societal issues of our times. All those topics will be incorporated into this BA Psychology Completion Program, some of the discussions that we have in class, and also many of our faculty have just a great deal of experience working in diverse populations out in many of the communities in the Chicagoland area.
And you utilize what's called the practitioner model. So can you describe that more and about the fact that you have faculty that are teaching but also doing work out in the community simultaneously?
That's correct, Kate. Great, qualified, knowledgeable faculty that all, at the minimum, have a master's degree in a psychology-related field, and are practicing or have practiced in diverse communities, providing mental health services at community mental health agencies, hospitals, university counseling centers, just to name a few. So all have that hands-on practical experience, which is also one of the strengths at the many programs at the Chicago School, including this BA Completion Psychology program.
Yeah, I mean, I think so many people who want to get out and feel like they're having an impact will be so excited to know that at the bachelor's level, because often in bachelor's programs it's all classroom based, but here in this unique bachelor's completion program, you're going to help people have internship opportunities, volunteer opportunities, opportunities to be mentored by practitioners who are also faculty members, so that they can really get a feel of, is this what they want to do? And many of them will be able to have careers with a bachelor's degree, and then some might choose to move on and follow up with either a master's degree or a doctoral degree, correct?
That's correct. There's so many opportunities with the bachelor's in psychology, and students will have the opportunity to really learn more about those opportunities, specifically in a class that we'll be offering called the Student Success Seminar. And I'll be leading that course, and look forward to working with all the incoming students to provide them information about the many options that they'll have with the bachelor's in psychology, which can include continuing on into some of the great graduate programs that we offer at the Chicago School.
And I think you've created a really unique schedule for students as well for classes that's going to really, again, allow them to be out having an impact, working in the community, figuring out is this what they want to do, and getting some real experience. So when they graduate with a bachelor's degree, they'll have a resume that's going to be impressive to future employers.
To future employers, and I think it will also prepare them well for future educational opportunities if they'd like to pursue graduate degrees at the Chicago School or other universities. So you're absolutely right. I think it will be a great preparation for the students in this bachelor's completion program.
So can you talk a little bit about the schedule of courses, how someone might enroll so that they could combine it with that, and or many people, as many of us do when we're in school, right, might need to be combining it with either with a job. Some students end up with campus jobs, but some people will work out in the community for pay. And or we have students, you're expecting who they might also be parenting young children or being a caregiver for an older adult, so that you've created a flexible schedule so people can really fulfill a lot of their other responsibilities and still keep their eye on the prize of completing that bachelor's degree.
It's very community, family friendly degree in terms of some of the times and the schedule. So we'll be offering full-time classes Monday and Wednesday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And then also have an option for weekend classes that will run from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. So have a few options there to fulfill the needs of families and students. So really looking forward to this incoming cohort starting next week. August 26th is the first day of class.
And yet, I think what you were telling me as we were kept prepping for this is while classes are starting next Monday, it's really not too late, that there is still room, because it's a brand new program, you've got room still. And so if someone is, has it pretty much together, that your admissions team there is willing, and they're going to be working this Saturday to try and help people who have had it on their goal that they wanted to get back in school by the end of 2019, that they can still do it, that you are kind of putting in that extra work to make sure that you can help people do that if they're ready to make that commitment.
Yes, we're still taking on students. Take a look at the website, take a look at our contact information. Feel free to reach out, and I'd be happy to meet with any interested students about how they can reach their academic and career goals here at the Chicago School.
And I would remind callers, you're welcome to call in to our number right now if you wanted to speak with Dr. Benson Flores. The number there is 312-738. 1060, so you should see that on the bottom of your screen. You're welcome to give us a call. In a few minutes, I'm going to put up also information about the website in case people are interested. But what I love is, as part of this series where we focus on families, we have so many people who want to see what can they do, particularly for our city, for the city of Chicago, who want to be out doing work that changes people's lives. And this is a way that people can complete their bachelor's degree and feel like they are learning things that are really going to help them make a difference in their home community. And that the Chicago School has a great commitment to diversity too, right? Creating a workforce that is prepared to deal with the great diversity that the city of Chicago has. Do you have any final things that before we, we're going to switch gears in a minute and bring on the campus dean, Dr. Margie Martin, but Dr. Benson Flores, anything else that you think for you that you'd like to add about the program so that families who are thinking about their teens and or young adults who might be wanting to complete, and or adults who've been out there and maybe sacrificing for their family but have always wanted to finish that bachelor's degree, that people who want to come in and get that done, anything else that you think people might need to know, or are you mostly just directing them to reach out to the Chicago School and talk to someone in admissions?
I definitely think reaching out to admissions is an important option. Also, I'd like to add that we understand the challenging nature of transitioning from an associate's degree or previous academic institution to the Chicago School of Professional Psychology, and that's why we have plenty of supports in place to make sure that the students that join us in the fall or in the spring or anytime at the Chicago School will be successful in this bachelor's completion program. Of course, we have the quality and knowledgeable faculty that will be helping out, making this a smooth transition. But we also have student support counselors that can help the transition. And we have student ambassadors, which is something new at the Chicago School, that will be serving as mentors to the incoming students in this incoming cohort. So we have students that are familiar with the educational background, perhaps of some of the students that will be starting in the fall semester, and they'll be helping them out this transition and mentoring them throughout the process. We also have a diversity center, we have a writing center, so there are many supports in place to make sure that the students really feel welcome at the Chicago School.
And that's exciting, welcome and well supported. And it makes sense, I think, to people. If you want to find a school that's going to provide a lot of support, a school, the Chicago School of Professional Psychology, is likely to be a place that will have thought of what a whole person needs, right? So there's the academic piece, but there's all the other pieces to that. And I think that, as we've talked, it's exciting to see, too, that you're really welcoming students who might have had, maybe even in the past, someone who might have had some academic struggles because they had other life challenges going on, or they were in a really large institution and they didn't feel like they had that personalized support like students might get here with the ambassadors and or the student support counselors. So somebody who maybe got to a large university or were commuting to a local college, but they just didn't feel like they got the support that they needed, and maybe they felt like they were falling through the cracks. It would be kind of hard for someone to fall through the cracks in this program, right? At the Chicago School of Professional Psychology.
That's correct. I don't think it will be an overwhelming experience for the students in the classroom. Most, if not all, the classes will only allow a maximum of 12 students in the class. So there's really that opportunity to build really strong professional relationships with the faculty members there. And I don't think that you really have that experience in a lot of bachelor's psychology educational opportunities, but you do in this program.
And it's exciting that you're really willing to give somebody a fresh start if they had a start, someplace else that didn't fit for them, or they did a certain number, there's 60 hours or so, maybe they have an associate's degree. They don't need to have an actual associate's degree, they just need to have had previous 60 hours of previous college, right, for this completion program. But that they might come to this with a new opportunity to get the support they need to be successful, maybe even in a way that they weren't able to before. So just seeing your gentle, supportive nature, I can't imagine someone wouldn't really feel like this is the right place for them. So that's really exciting. And as we think about embracing the diversity of our great city, it's really exciting to hear about this program. So I'm going to shift gears and I'm going to put on so people can see how they could get in touch with you if they want to at the Chicago School. So the Chicago School website's address is there, but also it's really important that people see in your email address, it's for your name, Dr. Gregory Benson Flores, but it's gbenson-flores at thechicagoschool.edu. And I know with the email address there, sometimes people forget that they actually have to type in the word "the" for the Chicago School. And the phone number's there too. And so anyone who'd like to reach out to Dr. Benson Flores, please feel free to do so that way. And or if you call in, we will have a way for him to also give you an answer, or you will be able to get your questions answered from our dean. So now I'm really happy to introduce you to Dr. Margie Martin.
Good evening.
And Dr. Martin is the campus dean for the Chicago School of Professional Psychology. This is the founding campus, right? Although there are campuses across the country, the Chicago campus is the original, right?
That is right, and we're celebrating 40 years this year, Kate, so it's a big year for us at the Chicago School.
That is exciting, and it's got to be exciting to you to see that while the school was founded 40 years ago, really focusing largely on the clinical PsyD program, the doctorate program, that programs have evolved over time, and I know you've been very passionate about launching this bachelor's completion program because of your commitment to education for people from all walks of life, embracing all the diversity, and that you've really reached out in particular to the city colleges of Chicago and the STAR Partnership program. So could you tell us a little bit about that program?
Absolutely. The Chicago School became a STAR partner in March of this year. Chancellor Salgado and our president, Nealon, signed the paperwork, and we were ready to go. I was a prior president at Harold Washington College, one of the city colleges, so I know that students have grit, they're prepared academically, and really many want to go on and complete their bachelor's degree. So the STAR scholars and the graduates have that opportunity now at the Chicago School, and it's going to be great because they're working with these practitioners practitioner faculty, like you described, able to have very small classes, 10 students, so it's almost like a doctoral seminar,
Wow.
getting lots of support from faculty and the ambassadors, and they're really going to get a great foundation in psychology. They can choose a focus in addiction studies or more of the HR side, or a generalist. But the key is they're really going to get a great education and a lot of support while they're doing it.
And that small class size is so unusual for bachelor's level undergraduate programs. So that's really exciting. And I think, again, especially for students that I know that sometimes have struggled in being in large lecture halls where it's kind of easy to slip through the cracks, feel like you can get behind because you're juggling other things in your life. Here, with the support system you put together and the small class size, it seems like such a recipe for success.
You know, I really agree, Kate, because what we've learned is students learn from the faculty, but also each other. And having that opportunity to get to know their colleagues, to really develop a community of learning, not only with the students in the class, but our graduate students who are going to mentor them, it's just a great recipe for success. It's a huge opportunity. I'm so excited to welcome the students to campus.
And then you've also built on this hands-on approach where people are going to get to do work in the community as well, so that it's really the whole picture.
Absolutely. And, you know, I just want to say a couple of things. What's really important to students these days, I know, is having a competitive price, which we have, great scholarships, but also for students who are thinking they want to go on to a master's or doctoral program, this is a great place to start. In the bachelor's program, if they're doing well and they're really enjoying their work and having good outcomes, they'll be able to take the last 3 classes in the bachelor's program at the master's level. So they already get a semester done in the master's degree, and then they can move seamlessly on to counseling psychology, IO psychology, forensic psychology, and school psychology. So real opportunities for students to move ahead and to really get their dream job where they can make a difference.
So that's a great deal, too, that somebody could be getting graduate level credits still in this bachelor's program. So again, it's a
Absolutely.
jump start. But you used a term I'm not sure everybody knows, IO psychology. Can you explain to our viewers? Because I think people certainly understand things like school psychology. But IO is something that not everyone understands. So maybe
That is a great question. So it's industrial and organizational psychology. It's the kind of psychology where folks work in the workplace. They're working with leaders to try to have a place where people come to work. They're motivated. We're looking at their skill sets, what they are good at, what things they need to grow at, and supporting employees so that they really are producing, but also happy employees. So it's a lot about working in organizations, manufacturing, it can be retail, all sorts of organizations. It can be coaching, executive coaching. So it's really an area of psychology that's growing. And a lot of our students are interested because organizations today working with multiple generations, millennials, X, all the different kind of levels, they all are motivated differently. So business psychologists can play a huge role in helping organizations thrive.
And I've been excited. I've had the chance to interact with a number of the faculty that in your IO program and really hearing about some of the great stuff they're doing about workplace wellness, which again fits in so much with our focus on the family, right?
Absolutely.
Helping sometimes companies be more family friendly and flexible in terms of work. Helping really focus on talent development in terms of, people might start out in a company at a more entry-level position, but that people who work in IO are often involved in training, helping people have their career paths and move forward. And then also with another topic that can be challenging in workplaces, which is change management.
Absolutely. That's a big focus of IO psychology. So that will be one of the options in the bachelor's degree for people to go into that area.
That's exciting. And then you mentioned human resources, which of course a lot of people are drawn to. That again, if you're a real people person and yet you want to be working in a business environment, that it brings together all these interests. And so that's exciting that there's a way that students who might want to do, again, more traditional psychology work where they're helping, maybe working with people one-on-one or working with people in groups or in school settings, but that this business side is something that is sometimes overlooked, but there's great career opportunities. And it is exciting to see how many places are really focusing more on what the work environment is like, wellness, employee health, and recognizing that having healthy, happy employees increases your company's bottom line.
Absolutely, Kate.
So you're really doing such exciting things. And what I'm thrilled to hear about is, again, I love the back to school time, I have to say, but that you're offering people new opportunities, new ways to think about their futures, and with some flexibility. The schedule that you've created, the student support that you've put in is really giving people that opportunity to really figure out, is this their time?
I love that you say that because it's not too late for this semester. We do start next Monday, but if someone's motivated, we'll work with you. And what I've been saying to students, it's your turn. It's your turn this time. You can make a difference. So take that opportunity and go with it.
So again, it's a final opportunity. If anyone wants to call in, please feel free to do so. I'm going to really quickly switch so you'll see the Chicago School website information as well if you prefer to reach out via website. That's a great opportunity. But I'm just really moved by the Chicago School's commitment to the city of Chicago and the greater Chicago area, but in terms of making an impact, about utilizing students, and even the fact that you encourage faculty and staff to be out in the community, working in the community, really thinking about ways that there's a connection and that education is not off somewhere, but really people are learning vital life skills that say, I want to be part of my community and I want to make a difference. And you're giving them the skills and the pathway to do that.
And we have alumni all over Chicago in the city, every neighborhood, working in community partners and have private practice. Like I said, we've been around for 40 years, which might not sound like a lot to some, but for professional schools of psychology, that's a long time. And we're proud of our alumni who are making a difference in Chicago every day. And a lot of our grads stay in Chicago. They want to go back to their own neighborhood and really make a difference. So we're training and preparing our students to be able to go back and make real change. Make Chicago a great city. It is a great city.
It is
Make
a great
better.
city, and it's a great way for people to contribute. But as you were speaking, what I love is, again, you're recruiting from right here in our city, but you also recruit students globally, and you also
Yeah.
provide students with opportunities for global studies, right? So the students could have the opportunity that they wanted to study abroad in other countries, go on an educational trip, that you do that as well. So it's a Chicago born and bred program, but the world is everyone's oyster when they're at the Chicago School. So that's exciting.
It really is. Our study abroad trips can be a long time, for a semester, but also just short. So students that do have commitments with family can go do study for the semester, but then go away for a week and learn a lot. So we're really trying to meet the needs of students where they are today and make sure they have all the support and the opportunities for each one.
And I'm not sure we talked enough, but I want to end it with this note,
Okay.
that you also are very generous in terms of providing scholarships.
Absolutely.
So that students who are really interested, but really feel like finances would be a barrier, and especially because the Chicago School has an outstanding reputation. I think people sometimes don't recognize it's a non-for-profit institution, but that you're out there providing scholarships because you want to create a diverse, a well-prepared workforce to make our city and our world great. And for that, I think it's really exciting. So no one should let that be a barrier to reaching out to admissions and asking a question. So I think on that note about scholarship, I want to thank you, Dr. Martin. I really want to thank Dr. Benson Flores, who was here earlier, and thank our audience for your commitment to the city of Chicago. Thank you so much.